I'm not going to dive into the current process, and I'm going to focus more on the first batch of working groups and a working group that will be selected. This first call is sequenced in two batches. The first one will see a selection decision for at least 5 working groups in July, while the call will be kept open for the selection of a second group of working groups in the autumn. My slides here, although the overall principle and the overall process is the same for throughout the call and throughout the year, this is looking more at the first batch because these are for immediate actions to be taken. The preparatory step for the call is the appointment and the registration of points of contact for working groups matter in each CoARA members. With, as I said, with more than 430 members, it's important that we're streamlining the process as much as possible on our side, but it's also very important on your side that you have one point of contact that will be able to follow what group, what expression of interest will be submitted on behalf of your organization. So it helps streamlining the information exchange and the perspective at the institutional level, but it will also help to provide information and to disseminate information on the call and its outcome. Only the points of contact will be able to submit the expression of interest or the full proposals on behalf of their organization. So that allows you to keep an eye on the submission and make sure that everything that is submitted by your organization is seen as relevant to the organization. And the identification of points of contact also facilitates the identification of potential partners. And currently, well, as of yesterday, a bit more than 100 members from 23 countries already registered a point of contact. It's important that working groups are inclusive and are collecting the viewpoints from various organizations from various countries. And so if you're looking, or if an organization is looking at potential partner in a given country or in a point of contact in a given university, this is made possible by the appointment of point of contact and by a directory, an online directory that is made available and that we're populating. We had the first batch of points of contact uploaded to the directory. The points of contact do have access, have been invited to the directory and do have access to the directory. A second batch should be uploaded today or at the latest on Monday. But that helps to identify various points of contact from organization. You can filter by countries, by type of by organization, and you can also provide direct messaging and direct contacts to those representing their organizations. Once point of contacts are appointed and the teams within the organization make small groups, expressions of interest have to be submitted by at least one organization, but endorsed by at least 2 other organizations. The points of contact will submit the expression of interest on the online form. The points of contact are different from lead science proposers. If an organization wishes to submit 2 expressions of interest, this is possible. But one point of contact will submit the 2 expressions of interest, but those can be led by 2 different lead science proposers, PIs, that are actually in charge of putting together the content of the expression of interest. This is an online process. There will be no documents to be uploaded. It's all filled through an online form. There is a template available and made available on the CoARA website to help for preparation. The expressions of interest is in the range of 1 to 1.5 page. And for the first batch of selection, they will have to be submitted by the 27th of April this month. Expression of interest are really starting points for the discussion. There are not final products. It's ideas put forward as food for thoughts to be discussed and as elements that will allow to put together full proposal for working groups. And it's important that those expressions of interest are made available to the community, to the coalition, and that's what we're planning. So we're collecting expressions of interest. Those will be made available on a knowledge sharing platform, basically a discussion forum. It is a platform that will be made accessible to not only to the points of contact, but also to those who have put together the expressions of interest, the lead science proposers, and also those who have not provided an expression of interest, but would be interested in joining expressions of interest. So this platform will be open to CoARA members and their affiliated, their staff and teams. It will facilitate an online discussion and exchanging to help strengthening the expression of interest, merging some, providing more elaboration of the concept. Proposal for working groups. We're also planning an online workshop on the 5th of May to discuss the expression of interest. So the lead science proposer, ideally, or another person from the team suggesting an expression of interest, will be able to present the expressions of interest to the CoARA community and possibly identify additional partners. So between the 27th of April and the 6th of June, there will be this time of boiling down, elaborating the ideas from expressions of interest to full proposals. The full proposals are following the same structure than the expressions of interest, but are a bit more elaborated. So there are fields and text and additional information to be provided through the online form that will have to be submitted on CoARA website by the 6th of June. After the first cutoff date, after the 6th of June, it will still be possible to submit expressions of interest. It will be still possible to submit full proposals, but those will be considered for the second cutoff date in the autumn. The full proposal will have to be an adaptation from an expression of interest or results from the merging of several expressions of interest. It was important for transparency reason to be able to provide and to put forward ideas to the CoARA community to make sure that those can be discussed, that those interested can express interest to participate, and eventually result in expression of interest. Those steps are focusing on working groups. There are specificities for national chapters. National chapters, there is no requirement for expression of interest, but it's recommended in order to make the information flowing and make sure that the interested organizations in a given country can join and actually merge potential interest. The selection of national chapter, the call is continuously open. throughout the years, throughout the CoARA lifetime, there will be monthly cutoff dates where the steering board will review and validate national chapter. And the first cutoff date is the same as the deadline for full proposal for working group. That's the 6th of June. And you have more information on national chapter call in the call document. The proposal will be assessed through 9 criteria. They will be assessed by the steering board. The criteria are listed and explained in the call document. And the steering board will select working groups, at least 5 after the first cutoff date, basing its decision on the outcome of the assessment and also on portfolio management consideration and balance of the coalition activities, and make sure that the collective coverage of working group do provide a good basis for members to progress on their commitment. So this is in a nutshell the call process. This is something that you have in the call document and also on the website. As said, the first action is to identify points of contact and to appoint points of contact. Links are available on the CoARA website.